The etching I'm making in this video is based on a Vary Lloyd, an old Welsh tradition. A lot of my work is based on this type of old tradition that date back to pagan times but are still practiced to this day. Irish examples include an Droleen and an Brí Deog, or the Ran and the Biddies. I start with some sketches, and once I've decided on a size and shape, a copper plate is cut. I file and burnish the edges, and I degrease the plate with French chalk and a household degreaser. This makes sure there is no oily residue on the copper from the manufacturing process or from handling. I'm very careful at this point not to touch the face of the plate. This will be repeated at other stages during the process of work on the plate. Then it's over to the hot plate to apply a layer of ground. This is a waxy material which resists acid. I finish this stage off by smoking the waxed surface of the plate. This makes the plate black, which will help me to see the drawing once I start working on it. Having traced the main elements of the sketch onto tracing paper, I start to transfer the reversed image onto the prepared plate. I use an etching needle to draw onto the hard ground. This exposes the copper where I draw lines so that when the plate is submerged in the acid, only the lines will be etched. Then I coat the back of the copper plate with a layer of protective bitumen, and also use the bitumen to touch up any areas of the image side that might have gotten any accidental scratch that I don't want etched. Then it's into the bath of ferric chloride solution. Now this is where the chemistry magic happens, where the ferric chloride reacts with the copper and corrodes the exposed lines, leaving grooves in the surface of the copper. After that, I clean off all the bitumen, leaving the line drawing visible on the plate. To print the first proof, I apply the ink using a piece of card that pushes the ink into the etched line below the surface of the copper. When the surface of the plate is wiped with a piece of nylon cloth, it only takes the ink from the surface of the plate and leaves ink in the grooves and lines underneath the surface of the copper. It is passed through the printing press with dampened paper that picks up the ink from the plate. Once I have seen the first proof, I can decide where I would like to add tone to the image. This will be done using an aquatint. I start this part of the process by stopping out any areas I want to keep white. After degreasing the plate again, I agitate a box of very fine resin dust. I put the plate into the box where the resin is swirling around and allow time for it to settle on the surface of the plate. Once the dust has settled, I remove the plate from the aquatint box, being very careful not to disturb the layer of resin. And then I fuse the resin to the plate using a Bunsen burner. I now need to work on the background. It will be another aqua tint, but this time I'm painting a solution of sugar and water onto the plate. Once this is dry, I paint a thin coat of bitumen, and then when that is dry, I pour boiling hot water over the plate, which dissolves the sugar, leaving intricate patterns exposed on the surface of the copper. I make sure to protect any other areas I don't want etched with bitumen, and then it's back into the aqua tint box for another coat of resin dust. After this has been etched and cleaned, and I have pulled another proof, I can make some more adjustments to the plate using special tools. A burnisher will wear down the aqua tint if I want to lighten or highlight an area, or I can add some texture with a roulette wheel. While there may be some small changes to be made on the plate before it is finished, I can now think a little bit more about the inking and printing part of the process. I can experiment with different colours and arrangements until I'm satisfied with the final proof. Good quality paper is important in the finished etching. I mostly use a 350 gram Zircal mould-made paper. It is torn to size and dampened before printing. As it goes through the huge pressure of the press, the damp fibres of the paper are pushed into the grooves and marks in the copper plate, and it picks up the ink, transferring the image from the plate to the paper. Okay. I'm Deirdre McKenna, a visual artist and member of Cork Printmakers.